and it says, "Hi, Samuel. We want you to get along with us, and pre-approval is ready to complete." Well, I hate to tell you, but I just trashed your text. So, you need to pay those bills, Sam. No, that's not what I'm doing at all. It was just some type of quirk with YouTube that decided to happen right as I was trying to go live. I don't know why that happened, but it does. Matthew Vincent is here. Hello, good to see you. Thank you for being here, Matthew. Eric, hello. Eric has been working on the railroad. Ticket to Ride is what I play. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. All right, well, thank you for joining us. If you are new here, now this is something that, because I was having trouble with all of the other stuff on YouTube, I didn't actually, you know what? I'm just going to do it because I should do it. I know I should be doing it. I shouldn't be making excuses, even though it's a valid excuse. I shouldn't be making those excuses because it is what it is. So I'm going to share live, which is super unprofessional. I'm going to share live. Hey folks, we are live for another, spell another correctly so that people don't think you're stupid. We are live for another It Belongs in a Museum episode. See you on the flip side. Boom, boom, and do that. Copy. And then we'll put next and post. And then we'll come over here to Twitter because everybody in the world uses Twitter. That's not true anymore. Boom. Oh, Grant Lion does, though. You wanted an update on this Tesla crashing through a wall of my house? Here's what I've learned. If you haven't been paying attention, Grant Lion is probably one of the coolest dudes in the business, well, in the hobby. He is actually by trade a comedian, and he works a lot of board gaming content into his stand-up routine, and he also has a specific stand-up routine for board game conventions. I went to go see him last year at Origins, and that was the first time I think I met Grant, and he is just a really cool dude. So go check his Twitter out, and he has Twitter. He also has a YouTube page as well. I can't remember the name of his YouTube page. I am subscribed to it, but I just can't remember what it is. I don't do a lot of watching other people's stuff, unfortunately. But anyway, he actually had a Tesla crash through his wall of his house. So keep him in your prayers, or whatever fill in the blank that you would like to do. But he's a cool dude. And it looks like he's getting it fixed pretty much, but he just gave an update on Twitter. Anyway, you probably don't even care about that, but I do because Grant's cool, and I hope he gets his house fixed up quick. So we'll post there, and now we're done. All right, now we can come back. Now you have my full, undivided attention. Aren't you happy? You need to pay those bills, Sam. I don't. Matthew is here. Got my Gojo juice running and flowing. All right, so thank you for joining me. This is It Belongs in a Museum, to which you should respond in concert. So do you. Yes, I do. Especially after a couple of weeks ago, I hit that mile marker that everybody says is the point, is the top of the hill, and now I'm starting to head downwards. Wow, free car. I don't think that's how Grant's looking at it, because they probably have towed that car away at this point. Karen is here. Hello, Karen. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Good morning, she says. Good morning to you, too. Every time somebody says good morning to me, it's just the way my sense of humor kicks off. Every time somebody says good morning to me, I think of the scene from We Were Soldiers where the private is walking across the courtyard, the the drill sergeant is walking toward, no, the master sergeant is walking towards the private, and the private says, "Good morning, Sergeant!" And without missing a step, "Who died and put you in charge of what kind of morning it is?" "Yes, Sergeant!" And he just keeps walking. It's so funny. One of my favorite scenes in a movie. But that's what I think of. And it doesn't mean that I have that grumpy mentality. That's the kind of humor that I just think is funny. So there you have it. So good morning to you as well. There you have it. All right. So if you're new to the channel, which you might be, and if you are, thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new to the channel, would you please consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons? Hit that bell icon as well. No, I don't have the graphic yet, but it should be twinkling like right down here. Ding, 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 ding. Little bell ringing and thumbs up going and all of that kind of stuff. So if you would like to do that, please do. That's a great way to support the channel, and we'll appreciate it. If not, however, if you are tried and true and you've been here, welcome back. It Belongs in a Museum is where I take a little bit of time here on a Tuesday morning to go over a couple of older games on my shelf. What constitutes an older game? Well, quite frankly, it's not that difficult, really. It's simply older than what's normally being talked about on a daily basis within our board gaming hobby. So this is definitely not a game that's these are not games, rather, that you're probably going to find on the BGG Top 100 or Hot 100 or whatever, that kind of stuff. That's probably not going to be the case. I would generally say if I want to put a year, it's probably 5 years old or older, probably on the older side. Matter of fact, I was thinking about one that was just 5 or 6 years old today, and I was like, nah, it doesn't feel like it's old enough yet. But again, it's really just kind of my arbitrary, almost whim, where I say, yeah, that's an older game. Yeah, that hasn't been talked about a lot in a while. Well, let's look at that one again. That's generally what we do. Steph is here. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Already said hi to Matthew, Eric, and Karen. So, Steph, hello. Nope. Potential spam. Sorry. I will now silence my phone. Have you done the peace sign to us? As I was told, it's balloons. Peace. Oh, it isn't. Sorry. Let's see if these things are still going, though. No, that's just 2. I have to go like this. Oh. How about like this? Okay, that one works. Why doesn't the 2 thumbs up work? Hey! No, that just gives me the one thing. Maybe I have to go... Or... There, see, it happened. I don't know. I haven't done the peace sign. Is the peace sign? Hey, hey! It doesn't do anything. I think Karen might be pranking me. That's okay. I'm here to entertain. So if I can do the little jig. All right. Well, we'll try peace sign a little bit later. Maybe I'm just wearing my shirt is too light. It's used to seeing a dark background because I got tired of all the people talking about how I look like a hunchback because of my chair. I don't really care. I think it's funny. Anyway, we talk about a couple of older games on It Belongs in a Museum because Tuesdays are all about older games here on the Flipside. And so what we'll be doing is we'll be looking at a couple of older games here today, this morning. Just for about an hour, not very long. Had to warm up a little first, Sam. Yep, that's probably it, Steph. Thank you. So we're going to be looking at a couple of older games this morning, and then I've got to do some recording and editing and all of that kind of stuff. Later on this afternoon, we are going to be doing, my wife and I usually have a live stream, a live playthrough that we call Time Honored Tuesdays. And Time Honored Tuesdays is where we play an older game. And we've already got that game up. This is going to be Dice Town this afternoon, and it's a pretty cool game with dice and dice cups, and you're basically trying to construct the best poker hand using dice, and then you can use that poker hand to do certain things in the town, trying to score points, and it's pretty fun. So we're going to be playing that later on today at a different time than normal, and I do apologize for that, but this is one of the things where we have to kind of duck and weave because Jess's work schedule has changed. She's been doing 3 10s a week with just a couple of hours on another day so that she can get her salaried number of hours in, and we found that that is a little bit difficult for her doing 10-hour days. So we're putting it back to just 4 8-hour days, and so she's not going to get off until a certain point later on in the afternoon, and then she's going to come right on home, and we'll do those Time Honored Tuesday playthroughs still on Tuesdays. It'll just be a couple hours later in the day, so I apologize for that, but it's one of the changes that we talked about on Saturday during our live Q&A, but that's just one of the things we have to do. But that's coming up later on this afternoon. Right now, we're going to talk about a couple of games. The first one is a game that came out in 2008. 2008. And we're going to do the same thing we always do. We're going to do a little bit of a giveaway. So you can try to guess what game, and the first person to guess it correctly is going to get a couple of stickers and a surprise. That's what we usually send out. Now, it's not going to be a huge surprise, but I think it'll be pretty cool because I do like to give away cool stuff. But anyway, you're going to get a couple of stickers, Flipside stickers, and then you're going to get a surprise in the mail from us. I'll have you email me your mailing address and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to do right now. First two clues. Wow, why did I get stuck on that word? Because I probably don't have a clue. All right, first 2 clues. Well, I already told you it was 2008, so there you have that. And then a couple of the mechanisms. I'll give you a couple of mechanisms for the second clue. We have player elimination, dice rolling, and grid movement. So that's player elimination, dice rolling, and grid movement. I'll give you some more as well. So dice rolling, player elimination, grid movement, and it is a roll and move game. Ooh. It's a roll and move game from 2008 with dice rolling, grid movement, and player elimination. So that's the first set, and then I'll go back and read comments as we have them. I would assume that recent winners aren't eligible. That is correct, but you can still help. You can still help, and if a recent winner, we did this last week, and I think we're going to continue doing it, just like last week, if a recent winner wins again, then you have to pick somebody in the chat. You have to pick somebody in the chat to be the winner this week. That's what you get to do. So you get to take part in the giveaway. There you go. TI4, it's tradition by now. Yes, Eric, it absolutely is. And one of these days, Eric, you're going to nail it. You're going to nail it. I feel like that's true. All right, so the first one's 2008. That's the year it came out in. 2008, player elimination, dice rolling, grid movement, roll and move. Formula D? How did Ryan do that? Ryan is the freaking beast this morning. Formula D is absolutely correct. Oh my goodness. From downtown, he reigns the 3. What in the world? Goodness gracious. First guess, Ryan? Come on, dude. I'm going to say Ghost Stories. Well, close, Chris. I don't actually own Ghost Stories. I do own Last Bastion. And the only reason I own Last Bastion, he cheats. He does cheat. Oh my gosh. I got to show this now because you brought it up. And I think it's awesome that I have this. So this is a little bit of a flex. Not really. It's not really a flex, but this is kind of showing you my my better side here. Not really. It's not my better side at all. But the only reason I owned Last Bastion, and this is really cool, and the reason I want to show it off is because Pierre Lalune is just real quick, we're going to talk about Formula D, but I wanted to show Last Bastion. Okay, so I have Last Bastion, which is basically like a fantasy version of Ghost Stories. We're not talking about Ghost Stories. We're not talking about Last Bastion. We are going to be talking about this, but I wanted to show you what Piero Lalune did for me on the inside of the box. And then he left this copy of the game so that I could have this piece of artwork. Honestly, I don't like Last Bastion. I don't like Ghost Stories. I think they're too hard. I got to give this one another try just to give Piero some love, but I feel like I'm doing it now. This is why I have Last Bastion, because of what Piero drew for me on the inside of the box, and the sentimental value that's collected here is worth it keeping space on my shelves. So that's why I have Last Bastion. I do not own Ghost Stories. I think it's too hard of a game. But there you have that. It is absolutely cool. That's why I had to show it off. Piero Lalune is an awesome dude. He actually helped me one time pick out digital artwork supplies when my son Michael was starting to show some interest in art and drawing and that kind of stuff, and I wanted to try to give him some abilities to some more digital ability to follow that, and he we took time sending emails and that kind of stuff. And he's a great artist. He's a great artist. He's my second favorite as far as style is concerned. But he's also a really cool dude. But without further ado, we're going to talk about Formula D. This is a racing game simulation. Before Heat became all the rage, Formula D was my go-to racing game. I really think it's awesome. I really think it's a great game. I think Heat is a little bit more accessible and less swingy because you're actually using cards out of your hand rather than rolling dice. Now, the cool thing about this is that the dice all have different windows of possibilities for movement. So when you shift up a gear, you're going from this window to this window of speed. And then when you shift up another gear, you're shifting up to this window. And so you can possibly go a lot faster, but it's such that it's not completely random. You do have a window of possibility, and you're going to roll at least the bottom half of that, the bottom number of that window, or you could possibly roll the top number or in between somewhere. So that's one of the cool things about the dice rolling in this, and how they kind of, by design, mitigated some of that luck or some of that chaos, some of that randomness that comes with dice rolling. But it's generally the same idea as Heat, just that the movement is rolling dice in this one, whereas it's card play in the other. And I can definitely see if somebody thinks that Heat is a better game than Formula D, I can definitely understand why they would say that. I think it is a little bit more strategic. I think it is a little bit more statistical, or maybe not statistical, but I think it's more strategic. It's more, you have more control over how far your car moves. But I think you also have a lot of control with how far your car moves on this one. And you have to be a little bit more tactical in Formula D. I think Heat would probably be more strategic. So strategic is Formula D. Tactical is more strategic is more Heat. Tactical is more Formula D, where you have to, sometimes just look at your current context and decide, am I going to stay in this, or I'm going to shift up, or what have you. You still have the shifting in Heat, but it's how many cards you can play. In this one, it's what die are you going to roll. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get down to the table. Let's see here. He does cheat. Thanks, Ryan. You're welcome. Go for it. Painting says, hello. Good to see you. Gamer runs through. Barry, good to see you. Thank you for saying it's rigged. It's not rigged. That's a sweet piece of artwork. It absolutely is. Have you ever played Formosa T before? No, I haven't. It's a great game and was hard to get my hands on. They have a second edition on Kickstarter. I'll check that out. Thank you, Anthony's. You can never get rid of that. I'm not ever getting rid of it. Good job, Ryan. Thanks, Karen. All right. So, Ryan, your job at this point is to choose someone in the chat currently, and they are going to get a couple of, I think Ryan is, are you a recent winner? I can't remember. I don't keep track of that kind of stuff. So unless you are unless you are not a recent winner, did I say that right? Unless you are not a recent winner, no, I can't remember. Formula D is like Flamme Rouge. If I'm not mistaken, Heat re-implemented Flamme Rouge because he was the first to offer congratulations. I won last week. That's what I thought, Ryan. Thank you. All right, Steph VE. All right, Steph VE, I want you to send me your email, your shipping address information to flipsideobg@gmail.com. Steph, go ahead and send me your mailing address information to flipsideobg@gmail.com, and we'll get you your stickers and a surprise. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to get down to the table so that you guys can check out. Oof, you are overseas. No, it's not a problem. It is not a problem. It is not a problem. So what we're going to do here. So here we have the box off. And if I'm not mistaken, I do have a lot of stuff here. So they have 2 rule books. These are rules for advanced players, and these are rules for beginners. So you have 2 different rule books. Rules for beginners, as you can see, not super hard at all. So this is just telling you how the game works. It's very graphical. In other words, there's a lot of graphics. There's a lot of color. There's a lot of very good design choices built into the graphics of the rule book, and it makes reading the rules so much easier. It is not a difficult at all. There is also rules for road races. So that's is another thing that's kind of different between Heat and Formula D. You have regular Formula 1 races. You can also have like street racing in there as well. So there are a bunch of different things for that. Then if you go to your rules for advanced players, it's a bit thicker, but you are generally basically going to be having different kinds of, you have to keep track of all of the different parts of your car, and you have to make sure that those parts aren't wearing out before the race is over. You do have different shiftings and all of that other kind of stuff. So there's a lot of really neat stuff in this game. But track conditions come into it, turning corners, all of that kind of stuff comes into the updated rules. And then you also have updated rules for road racing as well. And then each of the different drivers also has special setups that they have for their specific car and all of that kind of thing too. So there's a lot of other things that are there. Oh, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that, buddy. But again, no worries. I don't want anybody to, we try to spread the love to wherever you are. Sometimes it's going to cost a little bit more. Sometimes it's going to cost a little bit less. We're not going to worry about that. It'll all even out in the end, right? So move just so you can get your stickers. No, I'm not going to do that. But thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that, pal. That's awesome of you. Suck up. Come on, Eric. Give him a break, dude. All right. So now, as with Formula D, for example, this is like a little mini track. This is the mini track, and it's taking up the entire screen, as you can see, right? But you get the idea, right? I believe this is the Formula D Mini. Yeah, that is the... well, these are old maps, so they're both the same, but you kind of get the idea there. I'm going to keep going. So I do have some map packs in here. So this is more than what comes in the regular game, but I'm just trying to give you an idea. Race City, for example, this will give you an idea. This is 1/2 of the board. And this is the Street Racer side of it. The other side is going to be the the Formula 1 side of it. All right. So you can basically do that. That's one. And then you have another. I wish I could show this to you all without having to break things up, but I'll just do that. And goodness gracious. So, this is really hard to do with just one person. Anyway, this is how, the two boards will match up like so, and it makes one huge track. I mean like a huge track. All right. So one of the things that you can do, as you can see right down here, is at Monaco, you roll dice, and this will tell you what kind of field course conditions are on for that specific thing. So that's one of the things you can do. You don't have to do that though. That's just like something that you can do if you wish. So you kind of get the idea of how big these tracks are, right? Super large tracks. And this is another thing where it might be, if, depending on your, Fast Park Chicago, I also have Chicago in here. But you kind of get the idea. I'm not going to keep pulling stuff out. But one of the things that the game has is these are the player boards. And they're pretty cool because, these are going to fit inside these things. And these things are also, they just kind of fit right inside. And you'll get a peg for each one of these little things. Bonk, bonk. I don't know if you can see how well you can see that, but each one is like a little screw, and these will track how well different parts of your car are doing, like so. If you see that, hopefully you can. And what those are dependent upon, where they start, is whatever your driver is, whatever his whatchamacallit, his special setup is, and you have it on one side for that, and you have it on the other side for street racing. Okay, so Jack Owen's special thing is that, let me see if I can do this here. The spark plug, or no, suspension down here on the bottom starts at 2. Okay, and then the engine starts at 3. The body starts at 2, right here, and then other things, you know, 2, 2, and the tires start at 9, so way up here. So depending on what your driver is, if you decide to use the, oh, maybe that's 6. Gosh, maybe that's 6, like that. So depending on whatever your driver stuff is, that's what all of these get set at if you're using the advanced rules. If you're not using the advanced rules, this isn't really used, but you do have these little things here, which are kind of like the gear shifts. And this is going to stick down in here and move. So everybody starts at 1, right? And then you can shift up to 2. Oh, why isn't that fitting well? Oh, because it's supposed to go in here like that. That's why. I'm an idiot. So everybody starts, of course, in first gear, and then you can shift up. If you start in first gear, however, and this is where I'm going to set this down so I can get the other dice out. $11.99, some extra shipping money. Guys, you're awesome. Thank you for that. I think they're prettier than Heat. Yeah, they probably are. I think that there are definite bonuses to this over Heat. But again, I think largely it's going to boil down to what kind of gamer do you want to play? What type of game do you want to play, really? So we're going to get these out. These are the little cars. Let me see, where can I put these? We'll put them right here so that you can kind of see them. These are the little street racing cars. Boom, 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 boom. But, so you have these as well. And then you also have the Formula style cars as well for driving. Boink, boink, as you can see. So these two guys would be the same color. And you have Team Ireland. Look at that. Bling, bling. That's awesome. So anyway, those are what the little cars look like. You get that. But here's one of the main differences. One of the main differences between this game and Heat. Heat uses cards. Formula D uses the dice. So if you start off in first gear, you're going to be rolling the 4-sided die. But the 4-sided die, it doesn't go from 1 to 4. It only goes to 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 spaces if you roll. I just rolled a 1. I just rolled a 2. So you get it. But if you shift up to second gear, you're rolling a 6-sided die, but it only has numbers 2 to 4. So 1 to 2, 2 to 4, And then you shift up to third gear. It is an 8-sided die, but it's 4 to 8. So you're not going to go, you're not going to shift up to third gear and then roll a 1. You're going to roll at least a 4, which is the most you can roll in second gear. And then if you shift up to fourth gear, you're going to have a 12-sided die, but the least you can roll is a 7. So it's a little bit less than a third gear die. So this is from 7 to 12. Then you can shift up to fifth gear, and fifth gear is a purple die, and it can go from 11, so again, one less than the top of 4, to 20, however. So you can move 11 to 20 rolling a purple die. And these just fell down. And then if you're opening it up wide, you have a 6th gear, which is a 30-sided die. And the 30-sided die goes from 21, so it's one more than the top of 5, but it can also go all the way to 30. So you have a pretty wide, there's 9 space difference here, which can be pretty heavy. But that's how you move in Formula D. Now, as you're going through and playing the game, there's going to be certain things, just as you would, you can draft, you can do all of that kind of stuff, but you can take points. So basically, like, you have tires. If you have to, if you're hitting a corner and you go past that corner a little bit too far, notice that the corners have these red lines here. So if you're hitting this corner, you usually have to stop in your movement in this corner, and then you're free to, but you have to stop movement in this corner as well. It's a lot like Heat in that respect, but instead of getting heat in Heat, you're going to be able to use different points of your car, different stress points in your car by using all of these things. And once something rolls out and you can't use that anymore, I think each one is a little bit different than the others on what exactly happens. Sometimes you'll spin out and you'll be able to start back up on the track. Other times, if you let that run out, like for example, if your tires go out or if your brakes go out or something like that, then you're pretty much done and you're out of the race. That's why player elimination is there. But player elimination is such that you've done it to yourself because you've been driving too recklessly around the track. But you kind of get the idea, right? So in this box, and I told you that I did have a couple of packs here. It comes with 1, 2. I have 2 packs in here, and 3. So I've got 3 boards in here, and that's all I was able to fit. And I think I might have got, I think at one point I did have more than that, but I just couldn't fit them in the box anymore. So that's one of the reasons why I got rid of it. But that's pretty much what Formula D is like. It's very, very similar to Heat, with the difference being that you're rolling dice instead of hand management with the other one. So, oh, that's something I forgot you have to do. You have to actually pull this out with your gear shift. Now, this was the advanced rules side for your player board. If you flip it over, it has your basic rules side where you simply have a number of points on your card to spend. Once you've spent all of them, you're out of the race. But you have a basic side and a advanced side for each of those player boards. So kind of gives you an idea. Quick, fast, and dirty, of course. But a lot of really cool stuff in this game. And this is one of the reasons why I've I've kept it around because I do enjoy this game a lot. I love the dice rolling. I love the kind of push your luck feel that it has with the die rolling and shifting up or staying in your lower gear so that you can make sure you don't have to cause stress or anything like that on your car. But I also really enjoy Heat. And I think, if I can say this properly, I think Heat is probably the better game, but this is really, really fun, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does or not, but it's hard to quantify that kind of idea. Triple fours and a D12 is where it's at. But I do think that this is a great game, and I think it's worthy of people, you know, checking it out and seeing what they think. But you know, one over the other, I think maybe Heat is the better game. I really don't like saying that because it really depends on what you're wanting out of your racing game. But I guess mechanically speaking, I'm going to sit with that. I really enjoy Formula D. I'm not going to get rid of it. But I think that Heat is probably the more refined game as far as mechanically speaking. All right. Hate those four-sided dice. Yeah, that's true. Do they do a second edition or reprint? They did one called Formula E where I think it was like elephant races, which is why it was called Formula E. And I think they use many of the same mechanisms in it. But this is the second edition that came out in 2008. This is the second edition. This used to be called Formula Day with a DE on it. But they removed that E, and Formula D is when they added in the street racing variants on the other side of the boards. So you can, if you buy this edition, and it's from Asmodee, if you buy this edition, you'll have that Formula One or street racing. If you buy Formula Day, which is probably much harder to find, let me see if I can see here. Re-implements Formula Day. Let me open that in another tab so we don't lose this one. Formula Day actually came out in 1997. So Laurent Levar, Eric Randall, both are the same designers. There wasn't somebody in there, you know, throwing a twist into the mechanisms or anything like that. Same designers as Formula Day. It just has a little bit of an upgraded appearance. And it's a 1.97. So basically it's rated a 2 out of 5. And it also has a rating of 7 out of 10 on the Geek. So that should tell you something. But that's Formula Day. Or rather, Formula D. And that's what 7 out of 10 is with 20,000 ratings. So there you have it. All right, next one. Let's see here. This next one came out in 2015, so almost 10 years old. 9 years old to be exact. And 2015. Next one is going to be next clue. Variable player powers and dice rolling. So today is all about the dice rolling, man. We're playing Dice Town later. Formula D was all about rolling dice. and there's some dice rolling in this one as well. It is nautically themed. That's it. Dice rolling, nautically themed, 2015. All right, that's all I'm going to give you right now. Let's see what people can come up with on this now. Let's see. Both good and fun racing games, just a different approach. Absolutely, Steph. That is correct. Formula E, elephants. Formula F, frogs. You know, that's a thing. Frog racing is a thing. And there's a show on Netflix. I don't know if it's there anymore. Oh, Bushman, you actually tried something other than TI4 twice. Very good. Ryan, I feel like you are cheating. Do you have a camera in here, dude? You're just really good. Your BGG Google foo is top notch, brother. All right, so Ryan gets to determine once again who gets it this time, Ryan. Ryan wants to play Santa Claus. That's what's going on. I won't say anymore. It's over now, dude. I'm a player, Eric says. All right, I'm a player. Oh, my goodness. All right. That's funny. Golly, dude. How do you do it? Your Google foo is outrageous. Sorry, I'll stop drinking. Congrats, Ryan, but don't choose me again. Actually, I might save. I'll send you 4 stickers and 2 prizes, and I'll save. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. Now, this version, this is the season 1, and this came out in 2015. But 2 years later, in 2017, they did come out with Second Tide, if you can see it right here. So there's Second Tide. Here's a little Vader Buddha that JT made for me. That's pretty cool. I like that. Anyway, there's Second Tide here. Then they also came out with the Hammers of Ragnarok. Ooh, Vikings in a pirate game. Yes, please. So that's pretty cool. They have the French. They have a kind of an orcish type faction right here as well. Then they also have the Iron Inquisition down here, an Asian themed game that's a faction called Mazu's Dreadful Curse. And then I also have the upgrade kit for Season 1 to take it into the Second Tide. And then I also have Skull and Kickers and Luck Goddesses as well for some little mini expansions to play the games with. So I have a lot of Rum and Bones here, and I probably need to find a way to... Karen is my choice. All right, Karen. Woohoo! I'm telling you, he cheats. I don't know. I think I'm a longtime fan, and you're bringing up all your classic top 10s. Well, I guess so. Yeah, there's some truth to that. Okay, cool. Karen, Flipside, obg@gmail.com. Go ahead and send me your mailing address. I know you've purchased a shirt before, but if you just send me an email, it'll save me time from having to look up that invoice. So, thank you. Me either, conspiracy. All right. So, I need to fix this. I'm sorry. Because, oh boy. Oh, it looks a little dirty in there. Looks a little... there we go. All right, so the age of piracy is at hand. Davy Jones is dead, his treasure scattered to the 7 seas, and whosoever can seize it all will claim the forbidden power of Davy Jones' locker itself. Run out the guns and prepare to board, accept no quarter, for there's none to give. It's a really fun pirate game. Really fun pirate game. If you enjoy Pirates of the Caribbean, if you enjoy that movie, there's no reason for you not to like this game, except for a couple of different things that might be a little bit quirky. You don't always have control over all of your pieces. It's a MOBA style game, which means that, well, actually, I don't know exactly what that means, but generally speaking, practically speaking, what that means is that you're going to have a number of different pieces on the board that are programmed to move a certain way. Then you're also going to have some heroes that you control that won't automatically move to certain areas of the board like your basic troops will. Your basic troops are all programmed to move a certain way. And basically your opponent has to fight against your basic troops for most of the game. And then as well as you are fighting against their basic troops, but you're also trying to use your hero's special abilities in such a way to kind of overpower your opponent's forces. And it's a really, really, really fun game. You can play it with more than 2 players, but I wouldn't recommend it that way. I think it's much more a 2-player game. You take your heroes and your basic troops up against my basic troops, and it just works better that way, in my opinion. But this is from a company called Cool Mini or Not, which we know is Simon Global Limited at this point. Why am I not surprised you have so much rum and bones? Because it's a cool game, and I'm one of those guys, man, that likes cool games, dude. That's why. All right, so we're gonna go down to the table here and put that back on. All right, so now again, there is going to be some differences here, and I told you this is going to be messy. I'm sorry. But we'll get it all sorted here in a little bit. All right, so rule book. It's kind of lengthy, but again, as you can see, here's the table of contents. Here's the credits, and here's the initiation. So it's setting the theme, and there's no less than 1, 2, 3 pages of that. Okay, so just be wary. Here's the components. And all of that kind of stuff. You have to select one of the factions that come in the base box. So that's one of the cool things about the game. The box comes with 2 factions, and then there are no less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factions that are available. And then you also have Skull and Kickers and Luck Goddesses. So really 6, 7 different factions that are out there. But the Skull and Kickers and the Luck Goddesses, they'll use player boards from somewhere else. They don't come with player boards. Anyway, you have a game overview set up, and that kind of gives you the idea of how the boards are set up. You have one person starts on one ship, the other person starts on the other, and you're boarding and fighting each other. So it's basically just this battle on the high seas between 2 ships that have sidled up next to each other. And this is what a hero board will look like. It'll have 3 different abilities on it that you can fire off if you have purchased and unlocked them. But there's basic versions of the things that some of them might be available from the beginning of the game and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that gives you an idea. So just flipping through this, just to give you an idea, there is some minutia. I'll put it that way. There is some minutia, but a lot of these are like explaining how all of these different guys work. And then you have 3 to 6 players. I wouldn't worry about this stuff. This is really a 2-player game, but you can do it. And then the back of the book is the world. So it gives, just background on all of the different sea creatures. Artwork is amazing. So you can see this now. It's just really a great, wow, that looked really good. I'm going to put that back up for you. Isn't that cool? That's just awesome. I love the artwork on this game. Just very fun, very fun. All right, so you get the idea, right? So that's what, and then you have rule summary on the back, which it's not that hard. So here you have the Kraken is a force that you must reckon with at some point during the course of the thing. Main mast is something that you can add to one of your ships. You're just using regular dice. So they're just regular old 6-sided. Look at that. That's how I roll, right? 4 1s. Out of 8 dice, I roll 4 1s, 2 6s, a 2, and a 4. That's why I get beat so much, people. See, look at that. 2, 2, 2, 1. Half of my die. Ooh, but this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Anyway, you get the idea. That's rolling dice. Then, okay, we have other things in here, and I'll get to some of them in just a minute. Notice that there are, you each have your own decks that you're going through, and these decks are basically, you know, different things that you can do, different special abilities, like cards can be played on friendly turns. This one says supernatural rejuvenation. So if you play this on your turn, you can remove up to half of the damage on one friendly hero, rounded up. Necrotic wind, when an enemy hero activates. So this card can be played when a enemy hero activates, and that hero may only move 1 zone per move this turn. But this gives you some corruption, which will do certain things and could bring Mr. Nasty onto the board later on whenever that kind of stuff happens. So you have good and bad stuff that can happen throughout all of this. Each deck is slightly different, a little bit more tuned to their particular whatchamacallits. So these are things that can, these are the planks that you walk across in between the two ships. This can be something that's pretty nasty as well, kind of Kraken-like, but not really. And then you have a number of different tokens in the game that are used for a number of different things. You have gold that's going to be used for unlocking your hero special abilities, and then of course your people can get wounds, 3s and 1s, and stunned and bleeding, and all of that kind of stuff is part of the game as well. So it just depends on the special abilities that you're using and which one of these you have you're going to be using in the game. But I'll get to all this off the thing real quick and then get to the boards and the minis, because this has some pretty awesome minis in it as well. Now, if you can find, I will go ahead and say this, if you can find a copy of Roman Bones Season 1, I don't, and this is maybe just me, but I don't think that you'll be any worse for wear. And the reason I say that is because sometimes games will get second editions because you have a lot of people who play the game a lot, complain about certain things that happen in the game. I need to get my phone out, don't I? Yep, I do. I got to show you the, let's do this, videos. There we go. Close that up. Okay. So I'm just going to set these up here, and basically you'll see that each faction has 2 of the same. Oh, this might be, yeah, these are extra ones that, but it gives you a good idea of the kinds of detail you have on these minis. So you kind of get the idea, yeah. And I understand that there might be a little bit of more shadow here than. Let me see if that will work. Yeah, that gives you a better idea. The minis are really nice. They are really, really nice. Get your Dramamine out, folks. Might be better if I put them over here, wouldn't it? Because you get a little bit more. You see all the junk back there in my room, though. That's gross. So you can see the level of detail in these, right? Let me get another one up there. Level of detail in these minis is really, really good. And it's something that you're probably used to from Cool Mini or not, or CMON right now. But you kind of get the idea. Really nice miniatures. Put it back up here for a second. Boom. And so these might, I don't know why these were loose in there. You also have these that are in here. Oh no! I had it upside down. Let's see, this one has got to be like that. Yep. All right. Well, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put it back over here. And I need more than 2 hands. There we go. Ready? So I'm just trying to show you more more miniatures. So as you can see, these are really nice minis. Check that dude out. He's one of my favorites. There's a dude actually popping out of his stomach. That's just really cool. So, it gives you an idea, right? The other ones, I'll go ahead and put these guys in here as well. Maybe put them up here. Get the idea, right? Really nice. And these are all the heroes. They have different colors for the kind of hero that they are. Like this is the captain color. And I think the bosuns are green, which are these things over here. And then you have like a swashbuckler, which is the yellows, and I don't remember what the orange one is, but you get the idea. Like maybe a first mate or something like that. I can't remember. But really nice looking minis in all of this. And these are all of the heroes. Then, if we go back, and I can put those aside. Then in here, well, let me go ahead and show, let me go ahead and show the boards because those are cool as well. And then I'll show the rest of the minis. So one ship is going to look like this. All right. And you'll have different squares here, like a mast will go here, and then, powder keg will go here or something like that, and armory will go back here or something like that. And then your other, your basic troops that we're going to show you in a minute in this other box will start in other areas as well, and they will start moving. And then depending on where, maybe it'll be something like this. this and this, or something like that. It just depends on where the other board is set up. Then the other board will be set up right next to it back here. And you'll have, you know, it'll set right next to it, like so. And these will be spaces that your troops can come across and so forth. But you can see the artwork on the ships is really nice. These are just one-sided as well. But this is like the undead version, and this is the regular pirate version, so to speak. But artwork is really good on these. Really, really good. But, so, like, for example, you'll have a mast going right here, and you'll have maybe the steering wheel right here. Steering wheel, I can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. Then you'll have a deck gun, and then you have something else. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a number of different things. Maybe the rigging will come up here, and then you'll have an armory back here or something like that. But you have these different places on the board where if you attack it, you're going to be having to do that much damage to it, and this is how many victory points it gives you to count at the end of the game. So that's just something that, you know, it's one of the core mechanisms of the game, I guess you could say, is attacking different parts of the ship so that you can get more victory points and so forth. And so for example, when you destroy it, it gives you a certain number of rewards. So it gives you a special ability. It gives you the 2 points. First off, it gives you a certain ability. This one, for example, gives you an extra card in your hand limit, and then it also gives you 2 gold that you can use to purchase other things throughout the course of the game. Wherever, if you knock out their main mast, it doesn't give you any special ability, but it gives you 6 gold that you can spend to buff up your other things and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a really neat game. I really enjoy this game a lot. I think it's so fun. Oh, I put some of the other things out there. This shouldn't be up there because it actually matches. So, you know, this comes up here. Maybe this one is here. I don't know. Deck gun, you know. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I really like this game a lot. Anyway, let's go back to miniatures. We'll put these away. Like so. It goes right in there. And then the last thing, these are all of the regular dudes, so to speak, that can be used. So you have, let's see if I can, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit all these up here. Anyway, I'll just set them out here, and you'll just have to do your best to check them out as I'm going through it. Boom. So just looking at like these bosuns here, you have a couple of different kinds of deck hands. So these are the big guys. And then you have the regular smaller guys underneath it. I think the difference, and again, I'm just going off of memory here, these guys are worth 2 hit points, and these guys only have 1 hit point. But it gives you an idea. And then you have the other dudes over here. So again, just trying to show this off. It's really neat. Miniatures are all great. These are some of the undead regular dudes. The sculpts are all really cool, and the minis are very high quality. So even if you find a Season 1 copy of this, and maybe even if you find it for cheap, which you may or may not, because they did do a season kind of, you know, upgrade kit for it. So there is, you know, a way for you to upgrade your, I wonder if this is supposed to go like this, and then this is on here like that. That feels more solid. But even if you can find, oh, does he know worky? This is one of the things from, oh no, this is not correct. So I think this is probably on the bottom. Gotta put him back though. Kerplink. And that goes, yeah, there we go. Hey. I don't understand why it's no worky. Think I have everything in here properly. There we go. Super tight. But that's cool though, because it means everything's going to stay the way it needs to be in here. But it is a little bit of a pain to put back. Anyway, this comes in here. And then this has to be put back together. Yeah, I don't know what these are. Interesting. I gotta find out what these go to now. Because I don't know what they go to. But that leads me into a kind of a different thing. And the different thing is that you can piecemeal stuff together. I don't know how well it will work, but you can piecemeal stuff together. You can take this person and this person from that faction and this person from that faction. And then you can also determine which ships you're going to use, which is also kind of a cool thing. But that's another way that you can kind of get things just kind of... oh gosh, why am I'm thinking of too many things at once here. Kind of can set things up to play them. I'm gonna put these back all on the bottom, and then, yeah, see, now things are coming together. It'll be nice and neat in here this time. But, oh, I didn't show the different cards. I'll give you the idea. All right. So, I'll do this. Yeah, that's 10 years of painting. Eric is pretty funny, Eric. Pretty daggum funny. One more thing. And just to kind of show you a hero card. So up at the top right, you have the health. Then you also have 3 abilities that they can do. The first icon here, I believe, is how much of their movement you have to spend to do it. You roll a you're rolling a 4+ for hits, and then that's a dadgum, I have forgotten. Good night. Yep, I have forgotten what that starburst pattern is for. Goodness gracious. Oh, maybe I should actually show you the actual card. I need to learn how to play this game again. Range. Ah, okay. So this is your range modifier. You can, where the Quicksilver Blade can hit, heroes hit by a roll of 6 suffer silence. In other words, they can't taunt or anything like that. Magnificent. Before rolling, Pale may discard up to 3 coins. For each coin, this attack gains +1 die. Okay. I'm sorry. This is how many dice you roll, not how much you have to spend. But this is how much dice you roll, what attacks are going to be doing, and then this is the range. Okay, so rolling 4 dice, got to roll 4s or higher, but if you hit on a 6, you also do extra damage or extra kinds of damage, extra effects. The Magnificent Bastard here says you roll 2 dice and you're looking for 3s or higher, but again, it's only a distance of 1. Hoist the Jolly Roger. 1 hero may reroll any misses rolled this turn, so that's something that's pretty cool as well. So again, just really neat kinds of things. Bloody Annie Bonnie. Savage Strike, 4 dice, 4 pluses at range of 1. If this damages a hero, remove up to 2 damage from Anne. Pounce can move 1 zone for free before making this attack. 5 dice, 3 plus. Wow. Pretty perfect. Heroes hit, suffer blind, and bleed, which is pretty nasty. So it just gives you an idea of what the different heroes can do. But you kind of get the idea. I won't belabor the point here. So we'll go back. Boom. Really enjoy this game. Really, really. Let's see. Howdy, howdy. David Brownlee is here. Hello, hello. Isn't Rum of Bones kind of expensive for an older game, or is it me? I don't know. I don't know at all. I haven't looked at how much it's going for nowadays or anything like that. There are a lot of miniatures in the game. I think in the base box, there's something like 70 minis in the box. Let me double check. 24 deckhands, 6 bosuns. Yeah, there's 70. So there's 35 Bone Devil models and there's 35 Wellsport models. So Wellsport Brotherhood and Bone Devils. Those are the 2 factions that come in the box. So there's 70 miniatures in the box. And you have a lot of gameplay, I think. But again, that's really kind of up to you to make that determination. And I don't know how much I don't know how much it's going for right now. It's a CMON game, so that alone will raise the collective prices probably because people want CMON games. That's just the long and the short of it. Let's put these down here first. Boom. Yep, just like that. And then all these will go in here like so. I gotta find out where these will go actually. So, but that's a pretty good stack. But you, as always, you kind of have to make the determination on what you're going to spend your money on. That's not my job. I just show you what's there. So if it's expensive for you, then yes, it's expensive. Is anyone considering backing the Hunt for Blackbeard on Kickstarter? Rum and Bones of Second Tide Kickstarter is $175. Okay, that's the Kickstarter version though. That probably has a lot more than what you need to just play the game. But thank you for that bit of information. That is expensive. Period. Hard stop. You know, and again, that's just that would be expensive for me. Maybe it's not expensive for you. Maybe that's chump change. I don't know, but that's a lot of stuff. I don't back. I could be dead by then. But it's not a Kickstarter, though. Noble Knight is selling a Kickstarter version of Rum and Bones Second Tide for $175. They'll ship it out to you immediately. It's not where you're backing a Kickstarter. At Ryan, considering it, but still waiting on Montezuma. All right. Now I need to look up. I missed the start of the video. Love the double track of Formula Day. Super fun, but an expensive track on the aftermarket. Yeah, I understand that. Thank you for being here, Robert, by the way. I absolutely understand that. That's what I'm saying. One of the reasons why I do these videos is so that if you're like walking through your Goodwill or something like that and you see one of these games, you'll know what's in it. You'll know whether or not I think it would be worth picking up, especially at Goodwill prices. Normally, if you see any of these like designer games or expert level games or whatever you want to call them, if you see these things in a Goodwill or something like that, unless you know you're not going to like the mechanisms, just pick it up. Because normally they're not going to be for anywhere near what retail price is. So you can save a lot of money, and the odds are you spend a couple bucks and you've got a great game, or you spend a couple bucks and it's a swing and a miss. But you're not spending the 50, 60, 70 bucks that you would normally at a retail store. So if you can find any of these things in a you know, I almost said a pawn shop. I don't think pawn shops are going to be allowing you to pawn board games, but I don't know, maybe. But if you find them in like a Goodwill or a Salvation Army or something like that, that's one of the reasons why I like doing videos like this. You know what you're getting, kind of. Halls of Montezuma is also Fort Circle Games. Ooh, Halls of Montezuma. The Hunt for Blackbeard. I'm looking that up real quick. Hunt for Blackbeard. Oh, okay. So they're both Fort Circle games. Ooh, that's interesting. Hunt for Blackbeard. Stuka Joe put a couple things up there. Preview video. That was 5 years ago, though. What? Inside GMT? Did Fort Circle purchase the rights to a GMT game? Así estás. New box art, yeah. Así estás. All right, well, it doesn't say it's a reimplementation, so I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, Hunt for Blackbeard, huh? I like Fort Circle. I've played a couple of games from them recently. I really like the Shores of Tripoli. Really like that. Really like Votes for a Woman as well. And I believe those are all from Fort Circle. I really enjoy it. Yep, Votes for Women, Halls of Montezuma, and Hunt for Blackbeard. They have 13 games out, huh? Night Witches, Peace 1905, Shakespeare's First Folio, United States versus Ann Burr. Huh, interesting. Well, I think we are about done, y'all. Yep, hour and a half. Oh, we went longer than I wanted to. I apologize. Good night in the morning. All right, well, that is that. Karen, I need you to email me your shipping address and what was the other one, David? Oh, yeah, Steph VE. I need you to send me your shipping address so I can get your stickers and a surprise out to you. Thank you for joining me, people. I certainly appreciate you. And we're going to get on out of here. I got to get some recording done. And then come on back later on this afternoon or evening or whenever it is for you. 4:30 Pacific time, we're going to be playing Dice Town. Jess and I are going to be playing Dice Town here on the Flipside. And that will be later on this afternoon for our time-honored Tuesdays live stream. So thank you for joining me. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It helps us out more than you know. Thank you for joining us. See you later. Take care.